a great night for football, guys. Looking forward to this. Hopefully I can share some things with you that you'll enjoy, give you some background on football officiating, and share some golden nuggets. Golden nuggets are things that people don't really realize about football officials, how we do it, where we do it, how do we get what we're doing. I'll share some stories with you, some travel stories, some football stories, some coaches' stories. You know, I've been fortunate enough to work on the sideline with some of the best coaches in the league, whether it be pro or college. They share some good stories with you. Some of them have a sense of humor on the sideline, some of them don't. And that's okay. But what we'll talk about tonight is how we prepare, how we go forward, what we do on a week-by-week basis, and hopefully share some items that you don't know. I'll share what we call golden nuggets with you. Golden nuggets are the little tidbits that we look for when we're looking at pass interference, maybe under the replay booth, things like that. So with that in mind, let's get started and have a good time. Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me here. My name is Rusty Spindel. As I said, I hope to share some background information on football officiating with you. What it takes to be a football official, what our typical week goes like, share some equipment that we use, and even share with you what happens underneath that replay booth. That's where people really get interested in some of the background that we do. Also share some golden nuggets with you. Golden nuggets are items that most fans and many of the players don't know exist. We start the week with preparation for the game. We study rules, have weekly tests, receive comments and grades from the previous week. We're graded on every play. There is a script that comes out that talks play by play on what we do. And we're graded, we started with 100 points and it's deducted from there. Get to Wednesday without a phone call, I've had a pretty good week. That means that my last weekend went pretty good without any negative grades or without any questions on the calls that we made. When I get to Thursday, I start packing for my ball game. We have a routine when we pack. Of course, everything's got to fit in that one bag that gets on the plane with us. We're pretty protective about that bag. We'd like our uniform to end up the same place that we go. Any given week, we're looking at the weather. Of course, I look at the weather to see if I need long sleeve, short sleeve, extra gear or not. I had worked with an official that I happened to look down at his shirt. In the back of his shirt, he had a LS and an SS written on the shirt. I said, Lee, what's the big deal? Why the LS and the SS? He says, well, that way I know whether it's long sleeve or short sleeve. I said, I thought maybe you could see by the length. Oh, no, that's when it's in the drawer. That's what I mean. He said, I don't like to pull it out the drawer. I said, you tell me that you don't check it after you pull it out the drawer. He kind of smiled. He said, yeah, we do. Like we were talking about with the equipment that we use, here's the flag that we use. It's not as big as people think. It only looks that big when it's 100 yards you're calling it back for holding. Over the years, we've changed the weights in the flag. Several years ago, you used to use whatever you wanted in the weight. We've had little fishing lures in it. We've had sand. One gentleman had a golf ball in it because he had to make sure that he threw it to the right spots. You know, he'd throw it, make sure that we had that pass interference to the spot. Okay, so we do that. He was in a Superdome. This particular official had a golf ball in his, which seemed like a lot, but I mean, it worked for years and years until we start going into these inside domes and the padding on the floor. They had a scuffle in the end zone, and he got a little excited. First, we talk about don't get excited when you throw a flag or when the touchdown score. Just do your job. He got a little excited. Man, he slammed that flag down, and it hit him, and it bounced, and it bounced, and it bounced. So he decided the next week he was going to change that golf ball out. You know, technology has come a long way in football. You know, we have the down box on the sideline. First down, second down, third down. With iPhones, iPads, and all that, how can you miss a down? Well, I'm going to share a golden nugget with you. Here's how we do it. We advance from a rubber band to this black piece of elastic. That's first down, second down, third down, and fourth down. And that's technology for you, just keeping up with everything that we do. You know, we were discussing plays and how and what and why, and people say, I don't know why the officials called it that way. Last week we had the exact same play and it was called different. It's not right. It's never the exact same play. The spot on the field, the players on the field, the time on the clock, the way the defense was running, which hash mark, which players. It can never be the exact same play. It may look like it, but it's not the exact same play. Think about it. This football is not round either, so it has some funny bounces in it. I'll share a little quick story with you. Goes way back to one of the old Southwest Conference teams, which they still do it today. One of the teams has a cannon that shoots on a score and a horse that they ride up and down the field when that score takes place. Well, there was a ball game. Ball was snapped from the 10-yard line. And quarterback rolls out to throw a pass, decides that he's not going to pass it, and he runs. He runs and he gets to where the official is on the sideline. Sideline officials got him. We got a touchdown. He puts his hands up, touchdown. Referee comes over and says, "What do you have?" He said, "We got a touchdown." He said, "The quarterback rolled out and we got the touchdown." He says, "You're standing at the 5-yard line. You're not at the goal line." I said, "Oh man." And it happens. You get caught up in the game. Referee told me, he said, "That's no problem." He said, "Get the ball in. We're going to play. I'll go talk to the coach." Cannon went off. Horses riding up and down the field. Fans are cheering. Referee goes over the sideline to the head coach. He said, "Coach," he said, "I'm not going to give you anything, but I'm not going to take anything away from you." He said, "We're going to stand here just long enough to let the guy get off that horse and for them to reload that cannon, and we're going to play second down from the 5, okay?" So things do happen out on the field. We also have some coaches that have a sense of humor. I was working in Cincinnati one night. Coach turns to me and says, "Rusty, who's in charge of counting defense?" I said, "Coach, I am." Forgot to tell you, he's 28-0 behind, 28-0 behind in the first quarter with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Coach says, "They're playing with 10 men, Rusty." I said, "Yes, sir, I know that." I said, "As long as they don't play with more than 11, it's okay." He said, "I'm behind 28-0. We still had 3 minutes left in the first quarter." He said, "Don't you think that's rubbing it in a little bit? We're playing with just 10 men. So they have a sense of humor on it, okay? Don't get right.